In this section, we are going to talk about x and y intercepts, also called the horizontal and vertical intercepts. So the horizontal or x-intercept is the point where the graph intercepts the x-axis. And the vertical or y-intercept is the point at which the graph intercepts the y-axis. So let's take a look at some graphs. Here we have a linear graph, and the point at which it crosses the x-axis, the horizontal intercept, is the point 4, 0. And we can write that as an ordered pair. The point at which the graph intercepts the y-axis, or the vertical intercept, is 0, -2, again written as an ordered pair. So as we look at graphs, it's pretty easy to find the intercepts because it's just where it crosses the x and y axis. So let's look at this parabola. We can see that it crosses the x-intercept twice at 0, 0, the origin, and also at 4, 0. Now, those would be the x-intercepts, also called the horizontal intercepts. Now the vertical intercept is also the horizontal intercept, and it's at the origin 0, 0. Here we have another line, and we can see that it doesn't have any horizontal intercepts, so none there, but it does cross the vertical intercept at 0, 3. So here we have an equation. This is number 4 in your handout. Y equals 3x minus 3. And we can see that it crosses the x axis at 1, 0. And it crosses the y axis at 0, -3. Now, if you look back on your paper, you can see something, a pattern emerge, and that is that the value of the horizontal or x-intercepts, the y value of the horizontal or x-intercepts is always 0. And so that's going to be very important to us as we move forward. We can also see that the x value of the vertical or y-intercepts is 0. So let's say we don't have a graph, we just have an equation, and we want to find the x and the y-intercepts. Well, knowing that the x value of the vertical intercept is 0, and knowing that the y value of the horizontal intercept is 0, we can use this as for this equation. So to find the x-intercept, plug in 0 for y and solve. Okay, and again, you can use those previous two slides to refer back to. So if we do that, we plug 0 in for y, so then we have 2x equals 9, so x is equal to 9/2. So that means the x value is 9/2 and the y value is 0. So my x-intercept is 9/2, 0. To find the y-intercept, we plug 0 in for x and solve. So we have plug 0 in. That gives us -3y equals 9. Now here I didn't write all the steps that I usually do in class, but of course we're going to divide both sides by -3. Therefore we will get y equals -3. So that means that the y-intercept is 0, the x value 0 that we plugged in, and -3. So let's look at number 6. And I know I'm kind of going through this a little bit quickly, but feel free to pause the video and really digest each problem as you go along. I'm not going to pause for everything, but you have the power to do that, just pausing the video and really working through the math so it makes sense to you. Let's go on to number 6. Again, to find the x-intercept, we're going to plug 0 in for y and solve. So if I do that, I get 4x equals 16. Therefore, x is equal to 4. So that means that the y-intercept is 4, 0. To find the y-intercept, plug 0 in for x and solve. So put 0 in for x. That will give us -8y equals 16. So y is equal to -2. Therefore, the y-intercept is 0, -2. And again, pause so you can go through and do the math and work this out yourself too. Now, here we have number 7, y plus 10 is equal to -5x. So to find the x-intercept, plug 0 in for y and solve. So go ahead and pause the video and do that yourself. Okay, so this is what I got, that 10 is equal to -5x. So x is equal to -2. Therefore, the x-intercept is 4, not 4, 0. That should be -2, 0. Sorry, I messed that up. So that should be -2, 0, not the 4 that you see on the screen. Okay, copy and solve problem there. All right, to find the y-intercept, plug 0 in for x and solve. So go ahead and pause the video and do that. Okay, I went back and I fixed my typo there. So, all right, so you should have put 0 in for x. So y plus 10 equals 0. Therefore, y would have to be -10. Therefore, the y-intercept, or the vertical intercept, is 0, -10. Okay, so let's look at our application problem. Kayla starts initially with $204 in her bank account. Each week she withdraws $17. The total amount in the bank account after X weeks is given by the following equation. Y equals 204 minus 17x. And then remember how in class I said it's a good idea to have a picture in your mind of what's going on here. So we're talking, let me see if I can get my pointer down here. We're talking time in weeks is our independent variable. So in your mind, this is kind of what you would want to see, that your independent variable is down here on your x-axis. Amount of money in the account is over here on the y-axis. And then she's starting at somewhere up here, $200, and then it's going down because she's taking out $17 every week. So that's kind of the mental picture that you want to have. Okay, so then you are asked to find the horizontal, the x-intercept. So by previous examples, we saw plug 0 in for y and solve. So go ahead and do this on your own. You should have, I subtracted 204 from both sides, so I got a negative 204 on the left side equals negative 17 on x on the right side. Then divide both sides by negative 17. Remember, a negative divided by a negative is positive. So I got x equals 12. So then you're asked, interpret the meaning of the horizontal intercept in the context of this problem. Well, if we think back to our little visualization, we plugged in 0 for y. Now that means y, the y-axis, and I'm just going to go back to this, whoops, right here. That means we're looking at this point right here. Well, that would mean after we found 12 weeks that she had 0 money in her account. So we would say, whoops, went ahead too far. In 12 weeks, Kayla will not have any money in her bank account. Okay, let's go on to the next problem, or the next question. Again, we have the same equation, and you're asked to find the vertical, or the y-intercept. So we need to plug 0 in for x and solve. So to do that, easy enough, we just get y equals 204. Well, 0 for the x value, that means right initially, right at the very beginning, at 0 weeks. So if we interpret the meaning of the vertical intercept in the context of this problem, we would say in the beginning, when time was 0 weeks, Kayla had $204 in her bank account. So again, here, this is the 12 representing the horizontal intercept, and the 204, the 0, 204 representing the vertical intercept. Okay, so next we're asked, when is Kayla's bank balance, or what is Kayla's bank balance after 9 weeks? So 9 weeks, again, I'm thinking time is on that independent variable, so it's on the x-axis. So I'm going to put 9 in for x on my equation. So I put 9 in for the x value. Therefore, I get 204 minus 153. So y is equal to 51. So that would mean that after 9 weeks, Kayla has $51 in her bank account. After how many weeks will Kayla's bank account, reach $102? Now, remember how much that she had in her account was on the vertical axis, so that's my y value. So here I'm going to plug in 102 for the y value. So I'm going to subtract 204 from both sides of the equation, equal sign, and I'm going to get negative 102 is equal to negative 17x. Then I'll divide both sides by negative 17 and get x equals 6. So that would mean that Kayla will have $102 in her bank account after 6 weeks. So the next two problems that you have in your handout, I meant to do as, like, you'll see it says table practice, so that means that you would try it on your own and share with your neighbor, but I'm not going to do them on the video. We tried them on your own, and when I come back on Monday, we'll go over that in class. If you have any questions over the weekend, you can just email me. Thanks.